Perfect. So today, here I, everybody, Alida Hernandez, Nuestro Magazine, and also rebooted the podcast because I think we're going to be talking about a lot of different things today with our special guest, Sapphire, um, regarding her talent and humanitarian that's in her that I didn't know about, that I just read about. So how you doing today, Sapphire?
Oh, Alida, I am so good. I am fabulous and really, really happy to be able to talk to you. And thank you so much for having me on the show today. I really am excited.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We met 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
the Latin Grammys,
That's
just
right.
walking around, and that was a crazy time.
It was, but it was awesome to meet you. So hey, here we are.
Exactly. 2 years later, and you're still out there singing. I was listening to your music. I'm very impressed. I want to say that, first of all, I don't know your whole background, which you'll tell me later, but I know you speak 3 languages, which I think is fabulous. You sing in English, you sing in Spanish, you sing in Portuguese. I was floored. I was really floored. And I know the music because I live in a Brazilian kind of community here. It's a lot of Brazilians in South Florida. And
Mm-hmm.
so I know Brazilian music. So I like the song that you had there. It's kind of like a bossa nova, kind of a nice, jazz, and your voice was beautiful. And then you had a pop, reggaeton, just a little, you got a little flavor of everything there. So I really love it. So first of all, how did you begin with music?
Oh, I began with music. Sorry about that. I think I got another call coming in. I began with music really as a kid. I'm that kid, that adult that was a kid who did the show choir, in high school. And then I was part of a professional children's show choir way back when, if we want to go back that far. So I was kind of that music and arts kid. And that's how I got into really the whole performance thing, show choir in my high school. And then as far as the whole Latin connection, I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, and I was probably the only kid on my block that was listening to salsa because the community that I grew up in was largely, we didn't really have a lot of Latinos in that part of Cleveland where I'm from. I'm from the east side, and most of the Puerto Rican population lives on the west side. But they had a radio station, Alida, that would play every Saturday, and they would play like all the greatest, the greatest salsa classics. And so I would be blasting that from my bedroom at like 14, just trying to teach myself Spanish vis-a-vis salsa. So that's kind of
Wow.
how that all
So
came
you
along.
don't have any Spanish roots?
Yo no tengo raíces latinas, pero llevo la música y la cultura dentro de mi corazón.
Wow. So ¿cómo aprendiste español? How did you learn Spanish? Just from listening to the music?
No, yo comencé así, pero viajando, yo estudié, bueno, en high school, en el
Yeah.
colegio. Después should I be speaking? Is this okay? Or
It's
should
fine.
I?
It's fine. We do
It's
Spanglish.
okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Spanglish. We can do Spanglish.
We do Spanglish. And Portuñón, if you know what Portuñón is. I know Portuñón. Yo falo portugués y después mezclo español y ya, I do that.
You got it all. You got it all. I love it. How I learned Spanish, yeah, really just, I'm telling you, that sort of passion for the language, just that bug bit me very young. And I just was determined to learn, it really resonated with me. So I took it in high school and all of that, but it really got better when I went to college. So I went to college to get a degree in Spanish and did the study abroad program and lived in Mexico
Okay.
and all of that, and traveled in the summers to Venezuela, different countries, always to learn, Dominican Republic, but always to study, right, and to learn about the culture. That was always my focus. And then went back to get a master's degree in Latin American studies. So
Wow, you got more. You know more than I do, and I'm Latin blood. I was born in New York from Puerto Rican parents and grandparents and great grandparents, And so, you know, the music, my father's was a pianist. He's passed away. My mother's still around. She's a pianist. So music's always
Right.
been in our life, but I wasn't the one. I like dance, but I wasn't too good to I could never read the music, like doing reading music and then trying to play at the same time, like that coordination. I had issues, you know. And when you have parents that are artists, it's really hard to learn because they're so perfectionist. So
Mhm.
I felt too much pressure, so I just kind of skipped it.
Oh,
But I
okay.
still have I always have music in my life. So always, always, always. It brings me back all the time. That's how I started
There
the
you go.
magazine. That's how I started the magazine. I said, you know, I'm tired of seeing um the talent that's out there that's not recognized because you don't have the money to go to the big awards, or you don't have the money to do an album, and but you have talent. There has to be a way for independent artists to get out there, regardless of our internet, social media, but you need other people to push you. So that's why I would love to call you and other artists like that people don't know, that have so much talent out there, that like, hey, hello, this is an up and coming artist. Look, she's right here, you know? So that's what I try to do with the magazine, is just really help these new coming artists to coming out there. My husband's a salsa singer. He's working on 2 more songs. So I already got thinking after I heard you singing. So we got to talk.
So that is so awesome. That is so awesome. Listen, that's just, I didn't realize that. I didn't know that's how your magazine came about when we met. But look, I want to tell you, I've been listening to the Rebooted podcast,
Oh, yeah.
and I want to congratulate you, Alida. I'm so proud of you because the topics that you're covering are so relevant, right? And really valuable when you're talking about health and wellness for people. And so I congratulate you for having that as a focus, because it will continue to inspire people like myself to continue to push forward. And thank you so much for focusing on us independent artists and giving us a voice.
Thank you. You make me, I want to cry right now, because this is the second compliment I get in like 2 days about the podcast. And it really, for me, that's like priceless to me, because I do it from my heart. I talk about my sorrows, and I still have a lot more things to talk about, things that I've gone through that are very personal, that I'm bringing out to the light, so people could understand I'm human too, and I've gone through some terrible things that nobody should go through. You know, when it comes to, you know, I talk about domestic violence, and you know, just a lot of other things that I think it's relevant. I think everybody needs to understand, because I've gone through like panic attacks. I had the stroke 6 years ago. So, you know, all these different things that people find themselves at a point in their life, they go, what, I'm stuck now. What do I do? You know, I'm sick or I'm crippled. But that doesn't mean that you have to stop. You have to decide what you want. So we have a choice. So I published that one, that you have a choice. The woman who wrote the book, I forgot her name right now, but she wrote a book and it's called The Choice. The Choice is Yours.
Uh-huh.
It was Steph. And I put it on, it's on the podcast. And she talks about, she has a book about that, about what you choose in your life, you know? Everything has a result. You choose something, you know, cause and effect, right? So it's understanding how to choose those things right. And look, you did that. You found a passion for the culture. You didn't know anything about you. Yeah, I mean, I look at you, you can, you know, you can pass for Puerto Rican or Latina, you know that. People will probably always tell you, you know, where you from, Venezuela or Dominican, right? They must tell you that a lot.
Uh, I have heard that, and that is a compliment, and it's, I love the culture and I appreciate that. But being an African American woman, I consider myself also to be a trailblazer of sorts, because I want other American people, to understand and appreciate and embrace, right, this culture that I love so much. We can cross different cultures, and we
Exactly.
have influences from here, there, and everywhere. And I just feel that the Latino community has so many just extraordinary artists, Alida, that you can be inspired by and learn from, and and help you to develop as an artist yourself. So yeah, I want to stand on the shoulders of the people like the Celia Cruzes of the world, and well, there was only one, right?
Well, I'm working on a project, and we'll talk offline about it, but I really want you on this project with Mujeres en Paz, with our nonprofit organization that is started by Arlene G, La Diva de la Salsa from New York. And she started the foundation. I'm part of the foundation, as well as JC. And it's a foundation to help women in the music industry that have gone through any kind of abuse or retaliation, because it's not easy to be a woman in this industry. And she, I mean, she was focusing on the Latin side, but I told you need to open it up to everybody, because all women in the music industry, we go through things as women. We don't talk about it. That's another thing. We don't talk about the harassment, the sexual harassment that comes from men and women. Okay. So it doesn't matter gender. You go through sexual harassment, you go through oh, because you're a woman, this, like, oh, you can't do something because you're a woman, or whatever, just like stupid excuses they give you. Or you go to an interview with somebody, and it's happened to me a long time ago. I went for an interview for a very when I lived in Hollywood, California. I went for an interview at I don't want to say what studio, but at a studio, and it was a very, very good job. I had all the qualifications. I was young. I was in my 20s, you know. I came in dressed to the nine, you know, I'm all nice and dressed. And the guy never, I don't think he ever looked at my face. Like, I'm like, hello, I'm up here. Like, it was like he was just up and down, up and down, up and down, you know, and it was so uncomfortable. You're trying to interview for a job professionally, and they are looking you like a piece of meat.
Right.
So,
and how discouraging as a young woman.
It is,
right?
because it's so scary. It's scary. I don't know if anybody really understands the magnitude of what that does to us when we are approached in that manner. It's a violation of space, it's a violation of your body. It's really something that as a young kid, you know, I had certain situations that happened, and it affects you as you grow older. And it could stop women from pursuing their dreams, because you know, it happened to me when I was modeling when I was like 19. And I was like, heck no, I left it. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. Because every time I went for a photo shoot or something, somebody was trying to, you know, put me in bed. I'm like, I'm 19 years old. What are you doing? I didn't even know what was going on, you know, and especially back then, back in the 80s. I was, you know, I was a young, naive girl, you know, not understanding the world out there. So, you know, there's challenges. I mean, there has to be, you know, there's challenges in the music industry. There's a lot of talent out there. And, but again, like, I just want to focus on, I see also you were sang in Portuguese. So now that you told me you're not Latin and you're African American, you traveled the world, you learn the culture of different Spanish countries, which is amazing. I wish I could do that. And so did you go to Brazil?
I did live in Brazil for a while. Yep. I lived in Salvador da Bahia, Brazil.
Oh, you're in Bahia. Oh, it's beautiful there. I've heard of it.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful people. Alida, you would love them. Great food. I'm talking about just an area rich in history, rich in culture, music, dance, all the aspects. And just people who are so warm. And what's the word in Spanish? Hospitalaria? Hospitalaria. I think that's the word I was looking for. Very hospitable.
Oh, hospitable. Right. I don't know. I get tongue tied sometimes too. I took Spanish. I had to take Spanish in college because I grew up speaking Spanish. I only spoke Spanish when I went to school at 5 or 6 years old, because we spoke only Spanish at home. But then once I started going to school, you know, English becomes your number one language, because all your friends speaks English. So I started losing the language, and then I decided I can't lose it. So I went to school, started taking grammar classes, which were the hardest classes in Spanish. I didn't know where to put accents. I would just throw accents. Ah, that looks good. The teacher said, she's like, Alida, I see you tried really hard, but every word doesn't have an accent.
Oh my gosh, you are funny.
So I was
That is
like,
really
okay,
funny.
grammar's not my thing, but let me speak. I can speak.
Oh my
and,
God, Alida, how funny.
and then living here in South Florida, we have every Spanish country you can think of. So I have a good
Sure.
friend from Spain that uses different words. Then you have the Cubans, the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans. Then you mix in the Brazilians. Then we have the Haitians and the Jamaicans. So I'm like, you know, I mean, I love it.
You are in a, you are in a real melting pot, aren't you?
Yeah. And I've been meeting some, we had at the studio that we have now, we have an event space in Fort Lauderdale. So we've had Haitian parties, Jamaican parties. I've had Jamaican bands, the Haitian bands have come in. And let me tell you, the music's amazing because remember the Caribbean islands, we have this, we're all the same, okay? Some darker, some lighter, you know, but we all have a mixture. Like I would say Puerto Rico's like we're the center, we're mixed with everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I have black, I have white in my family, I got brown, I got every color, you know, I
Sure.
say. So you got the African influence, you got the congas, the bongos, right? You have, you know, the trumpets, all the wind instruments, that's always, right? You always have guitar or bass or something. So there's a very, very unique sound when it comes from the island music, right? But it's all very similar. So the Haitian music is more jazzy and more, but it has the like the salsa beat, you know, that rhythm with the congas and all that stuff, but a little bit more jazzy, like a little more slower or something, you know? Then the
Okay.
Jamaicans, then you got the reggae. When you got the reggae, then they have some other. So it's just really, I love it. I love seeing all the different bands and I've been, oh my gosh, I've met so many artists that live in about a 10-mile radius from my studio that you'll be
Okay.
blown away.
That's amazing.
All right, so you know Kodak Black, the rapper, right?
Sure. Mhm.
So he's from town 5 minutes from the studio. So
Oh wow, I didn't know
he's
that.
from Broward County. So we're in Broward County. He's from Broward County. Yeah. So
Okay. Okay.
he came last year. He's coming again this year for Pompano and Pompano Beach, where he's from, to perform. So that's one of the things that's nice about some artists that do become big and then they come back to the town they started in.
That's great. That is really great. That's so great. Yeah. 'Cause that inspires other artists that want to achieve something similar. So
Yeah, and I love it
that's
because I think
awesome. Right.
I
Going
love to
back.
see, yeah, and I love to do that mixture, you know, that's why I would say Nuestro is a multicultural magazine. I talk to all different types of artists, English, Spanish, Portuguese. I haven't uploaded that yet. I interviewed the guys from the Haitian band that is
Mhm.
54 years old. And they're
Amazing.
they keep they keep getting new generations to keep the band going.
The band is 54 years old. That's amazing.
And the man I spoke to was in the band for 34 years.
Look, I love it. You are making some awesome connections down there.
So it's just I love it. I love it. That's why when I saw you on Instagram, I'm like, oh my God, look at her. She's going this, you got nominated. So we gotta talk about that. We've been off topic, a whole bunch of stuff. Um it's all good. It's all connected to the music and the
That's
industry.
right.
But I don't want to keep going off topic. So I do want to talk about the awards you just went to. And that was in New York City, right?
It was. It was in New York City. This was the Latinos Award NYC organization. And I just want to say that it was an amazing experience to have been nominated for this year for Independent Artist of the Year. And I also want to just take a minute to congratulate all of my fellow nominees because there were some really talented artists there this year, Alida, really great. And I just feel so honored to have been included in that pool of people. So it was really, really, really an honor. And but yeah, to be nominated was a tremendous honor. To be invited to go to such an event, and the Latinos Award NYC is a great organization. It's a very interesting awards process because I was in a category where you are voted by the public, right? So there were so many friends and family and fans, people who support what I do, that voted for me. And hey, what can you do but feel like a winner, Alida? Okay,
Exactly.
when people come out and support like that, and you feel the love, you're doing something right.
Yeah, that was awesome. That's awesome. You got my vote.
Oh, hey, you saw my thank you. I said, let me make sure that she knows that I really
Yeah.
appreciate it
I
from the
really,
heart.
I really I watch the artists. I've watched so many. I've been down in South Florida now 23 years, which I can't believe has been that long. My son actually will be 23 now in July. So
Oh, wow.
yeah. And I've seen so many of the artists just grow and blossom, and that are from here, from Miami-Dade, from Broward County, just all of South Florida. And I keep seeing the growth on the music industry. There again, Orlando is booming, Tampa is booming, Jacksonville, all the way up in Jacksonville. Would you think in Jacksonville, Florida? I went up there. And for me, it was like really rural, like, you know, trucks and kind of that kind of thing out there. And it has some city, but now it's transformed because of the influx of people moving to Florida. So many people have moved to Florida from different states. And also, since the hurricane hit the islands, a lot of Puerto Riqueños have come here and migrated all the way up to Jacksonville. They're all over Florida, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's a huge community growing in Jacksonville right now, huge community in Tampa. Orlando, forget it. Orlando's is basically the second or the third Puerto Rico, because if the first, well, you got Puerto Rico, then you got New York City, then you got Orlando.
Right.
Okay.
And then Orlando.
Yeah.
Really?
There's more than 1 million Puerto Ricans in Orlando.
That's amazing.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Such a small island. That's why I tell people, do you realize how small Puerto Rico is? It is a small little island. It's not even, I can't even say what, maybe Miami-Dade County is the size of Puerto Rico or something. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And the talent that comes out of there. I interviewed the other day, I interviewed a couple of other artists, young men, one from Colombia, one from Miami with like Via Chile, another one from Puerto Rico, all young, 20 years old, starting in the music, already climbing in the YouTube numbers,
So
so
awesome.
so great.
So awesome.
I love it. The generations keep going. So it's good, like with your talent and what you've gone through, that you can mentor other girls out there too, like mentor other young girls in the music. And I'm hoping we can do that through Mujeres en Paz, through the foundation, that we can establish certain things we want to do for young girls, to help them in the industry, to kind of guide them and protect them. Basically, we got to protect each other as women, and create safe environments for ourselves, safe boundaries. Because the boundaries is, sometimes we think, oh no, it's okay, he's all right, but if you give in just a little bit, the person's other intentions, you don't know what they are, and that, you know what I mean?
Well, that's why I think that like what you're doing with this podcast, what you're doing with your magazine is so relevant and important, because it will give, and let me just say I'm on board. Okay, so we can talk for sure afterward. But yeah, no, really, it will inspire these, young women, other young women who are coming behind us, to feel confident about what their gift is, and to be able to share it. And sometimes you need a mentor to come, in front of you, to kind of help to guide you, and especially with some of these, younger women who haven't really had very much experience, in life, never mind just the industry.
Right.
It's so helpful. It's so helpful to have someone tell you, what to expect, and to sort of know how to handle yourself, right? And to feel confident and good about yourself. And so like I said, I commend you. So important.
Because it's taken me all my life to really, to have confidence in myself, like really value yourself as much as you should because of life. Life happens, things happen in your life, and then you start devaluing yourself and you don't realize you start believing other people that say negative things to you. And you're like, no, what are you talking about? So it's taken me, all my life to learn things. I'm still learning things every day.
But we all are, and that's part of the journey. And telling your story and having a voice this way, the way that you're doing it, will, as I said before, will inspire others. It takes somebody like you, okay, for other people to go, hey, I can do this too, and feel strong about it and confident about it.
Thank you. Sometimes I don't give myself that much credit, but that's awesome. I hope that ladies out there, or young women out there, get inspired by the people that I have on my show as well. Not just me, but just people I have on my show that are really strong. I've been fortunate to interview such strong women over the last year on my show. It's been amazing. That the force that they have, it's just really amazing, and it just makes me stronger to see like you going for your talents. I met you 2 years ago and I haven't spoken to you at all. So, and now look at that, we're talking again, and life has gone, and you just continue. You did new music, and on your website, the music that you have on there, is that your like your new CD, or is that your new?
Yeah, I'm finishing a project right now, so my first project will be coming out this summer. So
okay,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Retro Magazine. You'll see her new project, her new video. I saw you singing the national anthem the other day. That was awesome. Too bad they didn't have you come down here for the Florida Panthers. We're going to the Stanley Cup hockey.
Let me know, and I'm there.
I wish I could find out. I'm gonna find out. Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm a hockey crazy girl, so.
Are you? Oh,
a lot of people don't know that, but I love ice hockey. I've been watching ice hockey since I was 14 when I lived in New York. New York Rangers fan while I lived there. Went to LA.
Oh my God.
So the LA King. I've been to every stadium, like LA Kings, Mighty Ducks, Madison Square Garden, Rangers. I've seen that Long Island Islanders. I've seen all of them. And then when I got to Florida, I had season tickets for the Panthers for many years when my kids were small. And I still go. And they just made it. They're going to the Stanley Cup Finals. They start tomorrow's the first game against Vegas.
Oh wow. Yeah, I saw something on your Instagram about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to party tomorrow and watch the game.
You're the real fan, huh?
No salsa tomorrow. Tomorrow is our salsa day off, and we're at watching the game at our studio. If anybody wants to join us, we'll be over there.
I wish I could be there. That sounds like fun.
Where are you now?
I am in the DC area.
Oh, okay.
Right outside of Washington, DC.
So you were up in Maryland the other day too, right?
Yeah, that's where I am. Yeah, I'm in Maryland.
That's Maryland. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Right here.
It's so small, and it's like a little piece, Maryland. Yeah, I remember driving through there. I drove from Florida to New York. That's a long 24 hours.
That's a long drive. Bless your heart.
That was rough.
How long was that?
24 hours.
Ooh. You did it by yourself?
No, but still, with two people? Yeah. No. It's a trip. It's a nice road trip. Like if you have an RV and you can park and hang out and go visit, and do that thing. I could do that, but to drive straight somewhere,
long drive. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, no, it's great down here. We're having some nice weather right now. I don't know if it's the same as what you guys are having in South Florida, but you know, the sun is shining and we're happy to have it.
Yeah, we're I mean it's always hot here and humid, but now today is June 2nd. Yesterday was the first day of hurricane season. And today we're having some rains. We've had rains, and they're saying there's a tropical depression or something coming this weekend. We're gonna get a lot
Oh
of wind,
wow.
rain. But I'm used to that. It's tropical weather. So we get that all the time. Like if you're in the islands, you get that kind of weather. And some people panic here. I don't know why. It's like they give you warnings. If there's a hurricane, they give you a warning. So you have plenty of time, get out of town, get your supplies, you can just relax. But people just, and they live here and they panic. It's funny. It's just, you see everybody buying all the water, the toilet paper, the whatever cans, like there's nothing on the shelves.
Right, right. Well, they do that here when it's getting ready to snow.
They're gonna get snowed in. I gotta get all my stuff. Like you're gonna starve or something. So I gotta show you, and then we'll go. We've been on for a while. I gotta run, but so Arlene G, La Diva de Salsa, she came out with some lipsticks. I have the red one on right now. I got this one
Oh,
on,
that's pretty.
and then there's a pink. So I'm gonna be selling them. She's gonna send me some. I'm gonna be selling them as well. She has some new sunglasses too. So we got to get you some night. You look nice with my sunglasses and these lipsticks. They stay on. Look, don't come off. Doesn't come off.
I see that. Okay.
I love it. So I put it on in the morning. I'm good all day.
Well, she's doing something right.
She's La Diva, so we gotta get her lipsticks, but we'll have those in the studio, and I'll be sending links for that. And I'm gonna put
Okay.
your link on for your website so people can see you on there. You have all your links for. I have your Instagram link and everything like that too. And we got to talk more often. This is, will text me, we'll talk and keep going and see what we do in the future with that
That
beautiful
sounds.
voice of yours.
Oh, thank you so much. And with that beautiful smile of yours.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic. Arlie, I'm sorry. She's got the lipstick. You got me thinking about that. Alida, it's been so great to reconnect with you. Thank you so much for having me on the show today. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. And any way that I can help and support what you're doing to work with youth, you can count on me.
That's awesome. I'm so awesome that I connected with you. So we will talk soon, and I'll get this uploaded in a little while so I can get it up online. So it was great. Great to see you. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, Alida, you take care now.
All right. Bye. Alida Hernandez, Nuestro Magazine. Till the next time.